rise from their exploits and grow. In the spotlight they belong. WBL stands strong.
Alright everyone, and welcome back to WBEL Season 3. Today we're going to cover the blind division, and as usual I'm with Chisei and GB79.
Hey there.
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
The playoffs are at our door.
Yeah, we're excited to see who's getting these final slots.
Yeah, I mean, everything comes down to this week. You know, everything's on the line, so putting your best foot forward and hoping to grab those playoff spots. So excited to see what people came out with this week.
Yeah, some people were pretty anxious this week, so I'm pretty sure that now that the stress is out, that they're pretty relieved or sad, but at least there will be another competition for those who are going to miss the playoffs. Kason used to call it the toilet boil. I guess that I'll pick up that name also, so people that aren't participating in the playoffs, they have another chance to join the tournament, and we'll also make it more exciting, so it will be maybe a double elimination. So I still need to think a little bit about it, but I'll release news soon enough. Probably that will be out when you see this video, so keep up with the game. And also for all of those who haven't joined this tournament, I'll also make something for you. Of course it'll be self-managed, there won't be any shotcasting or anything, but at least you'll have like an environment to have something competitive with a set of rules, with recasting, so it'll be fun for you anyway. So alright, so here's where we left off the blind division last week. So we had the Neptune with 10 points in first place, then we had Chisei 9 points with a 7-1 record, then we had Detto third place 5-3 record, and then we had myself, WoodyWins 6 points, then we had FreyDCat with a 3-5 record, Loji only 1 extra point, so he's below the line, but he must be 6 if he had this extra point. Then we had WickedAwesomeSausage, Argon also with 4 points, and then ZubatWithLegs 3 points. Here's the thing, you have myself, Woody, Freddy, and Loji all fighting for that 6th spot. So if Woody wins and I lose to Loji, then FreyDCat wins, he moves forward. So there's like all this kind of stuff that's going on. It's the same for Loji. So if Woody like loses, Freddy, Loji wins, they move up. So it was a pretty stressful week for the blind division.
It's going to be very important for Loji to pick up that extra points as well. He's the only one here in the league that doesn't have it yet, and it's making a substantial difference there because he should actually be above FreyDCat right now.
Yeah, and if I remember right, he was one of the few people that decided to not change anything with his roster. So his original roster that he's had since day one, he has to use every unit from that roster.
I used to say those extra point rules are too easy. We should for a season 4 like make it more difficult. There's a lot of players that haven't used their core unit for week 9, so like he painted himself in a corner because now I'll know what he's going to bring, but he still had like a third unit that he could flex because he only had 8 used, so he could bring a third unit of his liking. Let's go see the first showcase match of this week. Alright, so showcase match number 1, we got WoodyWins against Argon. So they not like VS against Still Thinking. So you guys, what do you think that those guys will bring?
Well, I mean, starting off with Woody, I mean, got a few different looks here. He's got some evasion, he's got some magic, got some spear looks. On the other hand, Argon, he's got some great sword. He's got El Summer. He's got the evasion look with Eldyra. Woody has not used 2P, but I think he still is able to pick up the point, correct, at this point? So, you know, at this point, both players have the extra point covered. So I think they're just going to be going to whatever they think is going to work best against the other one. I would probably shy away from evasion here. With the El Sorel, she's pretty solid against evade, as long as they don't have the guaranteed hit nullification. And then, Mustadio, of course, is a really good evade hunter as well. So maybe look to potentially bring some magic. Maybe Kefka could come out. Looks like he's enjoyed using him this year. So maybe kind of end it off with Kefka. Argon, I'm going to say, maybe he's going to bring out that Elserel and maybe center a team around that.
Yeah, looking at the rosters, there's nothing that jumps out to me as like a best sort of choice here.
Yeah.
I think both rosters have really good counters to the other, so it really is just kind of a mind game of what do you think the other player is going to bring. I'm thinking, one of the changes that has been announced by the time, we watch this video is that the cost of Gernsback is going to increase for the playoffs. So maybe Woody wants to get one last hurrah with Gernsback before the cost increase happens. So I'll just go ahead and say maybe just a spear team with Gernsback and RNA, although it's really scary with both the Aldira and the Cloud. So like I said, it's really anyone's guess. That being said, over on Argon's side, I also don't think that Woodstock-Wins would bring the 2P, so I think I would go for the Greatsword team. I like the Elserel and the Cloud, like JB said, it's good against evasion. The Cloud against the 2P would be pretty rough, but I think I would call the bluff and say that Woody wouldn't bring the 2P, so I'll say Spear for Woodstock and Cloud or Greatsword for Argon.
I would be inclined to say half Chisei and half GB. So on Woody, there's no downside not to play Gernsback and maybe have some staying with Flex with Galzak. And on Argon side, I really love that Elserel and Elserel combo. Great sword and book pairs pretty well together. So let's check that out. They did not listen to you, GB.
Well, I got partially right over here for Argon. He's got Elserel and he's got the Mustadios, so got the evade killer there. Very high accuracy. He's got the buff that he can pass on, I believe, to teammates of 50 accuracy. Although I'm not sure that's going to be enough even for Elserel. Her accuracy is very poor. She does have the LB though, so it's going to determine when the guaranteed hit null comes out. I believe that Veneris is on her limit burst. Kind of depends on the timing of that, whereas Farm is on her buff.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a shorter map for, I would say, for like highly mobile units. So we'll kind of have to watch that, and if anybody gets baited before they can use the second buff. But yeah, I do like the play here, but with Argon using the Barret, especially whereas people have access to Remembrance and can maybe reincarnate him to get that extra HP. So. Be interesting to see how this plays out.
Absolutely.
And right off the bat, seeing even on this start screen, we can see the placement of the Warrior of Light. So I do like the call here to have a really sturdy tank away from both of the evade units, just to give the evade units just some more survivability, some more time to be able to put out their damage. And like JB said in the beginning, it's as always with evasion matches, you always got to see if they have the accuracy and if that guaranteed hit null comes online when they need it to. Thankfully, Farm's going to be able to get hers online, at least she should be able to with the placement here. Warrior of Light does get his hate buff online, which is also going to be pretty important. Momentum with the haste online as well, so she might have already used it, I might have missed that there. But also the two ranged units coming out from Argon's side with the Mustadio and the Barret means that the damage should be coming out here shortly. And here we go. Looks like not going for the Seal Evil play here. And then the Limit Burst coming out from the Venera, so she is going to get her guaranteed hit null online.
Not good for Argon. And it did a ton of damage and the poison on that Barret, so it's going to be critical. Next we're going to have that Elserel, and we have that new TMR from Elena. So the guy that said that it wasn't like, he would be surprised to see it in play, but here it is, first match. So alright, so he had the barrier, so it was good for him. Next we're going to have the limit break coming from a Warrior of Light. Let's check out the damage. Really not a lot on that Elserel. Next is going to be that Barret, so let's check that out. So focus shot defense down on that Warrior of Light, pretty well tank. It did more to himself with poison than he did to that Warrior of Light. Seal Evil, no petrify, not enough unfortunately on that tank. No Snipe Dagger, yes, not enough to kill that Mustadio. Next we're going to have Elserel. Who is she able to hit? So she's going... Alright, so casting something. And now Mustadio's dead. Farm killed him, yes. And now here's the chanting. Leo... Oh no. So both guaranteed hits null are active, so she went for that skill on instead. It was maybe the most damage it could do to wall. Next we're going to have farm, so the LB, I think it procs paralyze if I remember correctly. But
Yep.
okay,
it did.
so went on to no, not even courage, so 26 HP. Next we're going to have okay, then the poison killed him. Yeah, so Mug, no more buff on that Elsurel, and the game is pretty much done. I talked to Argon after that, and I asked him like, why did you not bring the Elsurel? And it was like, I really wanted to finish the season with a bang and try to proc a Seal Eve also petrified with my Mystery of doing this season.
Would have been nice, but you know, unfortunately, they just didn't have the damage there onto the Warrior of Lights and couldn't cause enough pressure onto him, or even dissipate his hate quickly enough to move on to the evasion units. So the split play there by Woody, I think, was the key to the match. You know, having the evasion units off to the side, and you know, I think the range of Argon's team really kind of played into that strategy where they were able to hit Warrior of Light, just before the range units were kind of in their purview. So well played there by Woody. It was a nice strategy.
Yeah, not much to add there. The only thing I can think of is just because of the hate on the Warrior of Light and how well he tanked up the damage, we never really got a chance to see if Argon's team even had the accuracy, aside from the one miss on the Summer Elsurel. So I know Mustadio has that buff that gives a good amount of accuracy, but I don't know how much other accuracy was built into the gunner units. So, but unfortunately, like I said, the Warrior of Light did his job, tanked up really, really well. So very well built on Woody's side, and didn't even really need to worry about whether the gunner units had the accuracy or not.
So with that, Woody is going to clinch the playoffs, so congratulations to him for the win and for the playoffs.
Congrats to Woody.
Congrats.
Alright, so let's check out the next match. Alright, so this match doesn't have any importance for the playoffs, but it was a pretty good showcase, so I wanted you to see it because it was really a nice match. So we got Neptune against WickedAwesomeSausage, so we got Velney, Vadim, and Valentine Eldira against Ibarra, Phoebe, and Mish.
So that's an interesting one. Neptune thus far undefeated in the league. Awesome Sausage. Unfortunately for him, the Ibarra is coming into an evasion matchup here. And unfortunately, you know, since her release, you know, accuracy has never been her forte. He does have the Mish there who will be able to hit these evade units, but I just don't think he's gonna maybe not have the damage before this Velney comes in and starts wrecking shop. So the LB from Eldira, I think, is always very dangerous as well. So I'll have to see how that comes to play.
A man of fate.
Yeah, I am just like the last match, looking to see. I mean, I don't think that there's really enough accuracy you could really build on this team. So, just like JB said, I really do think that the Ibarra's not going to really be able to contribute much of anything, and it's going to be a lot of this Mish being able to put out the damage. I think almost the best thing for WickedAwesomeSausage right now would be the Ibarra dying ASAP so that Mish can get all the quickens. But over here, I saw Keenblade come out on the entire team from Neptune, and also the Oceanic Protection, which, you know, water and fire is up. Oh, I see the Vega TMR coming out from the Mish, and that could be a huge game changer, especially since he's going to be the one that's going to be able to hit this team.
There was also the O's TMR for accuracy up.
Oh, I missed that. So there's definitely a chance. I just like you said, I know Ibarra is not the most accurate unit, so even with the accuracy up, I don't know if there'll be enough. Oh,
I'll show them.
good damage on the Mish, which is expected, but
And here comes the Mish. Guaranteed hits.
guaranteed
Let's check
hits.
that out. Abyssal
Yep.
Mire. And we got a Berserk.
Damage.
Oh.
The Berserk has landed on that Eldira.
And
That's big.
that is huge.
Triple cult trip. So we got the Summer Resnick VC. She doesn't have the
Or the
accuracy, so And Velney not even able to kill that Mish. Next we're going to have Kurada, still back to full health. Next we're going to have Vadim, so moving forward. Mug, no, this Mish still hanging on. Next we're going to have Eldira, so not in range, only moving forward.
Get in range.
No.
So funny.
That Mish is so freaking lucky. And next we're going to have Phoebe. I think that it is a quicken. Next we're going to have Misha again, maybe another Abyssal Mire. Man, that Mish so far this season is a beast. So yes, and able to kill both, and now it's Velney against everyone. Ibarra still not in range. I mean, she can take a nap at this point. Next is going to have Kurada, Mish again, full health, and now it's done. So one shot coming from that Velney. Next is going to have Phoebe, so moving forward, I think that she has full health, full life, yes, and the Mish is back on again, full health. And we're going to have that Ibarra, the LB. Oh man.
1 unit you should be able to hit.
And one shot. And here goes the perfect record from Neptune.
So the key of the match there was the Berserk TMR,
Yep.
the Vega TMR coming in. I think if he doesn't land the Berserk there onto the Dyra, that is going to be a loss there, no doubt, for Awesome Sausage. So congrats to him for making that play. It's always a dangerous play, always a good one if the opponent's not ready for it, especially when you have it on a high faith unit like Mish. And of course, Dyra is also going to be a very high faith unit, so it's just a coin flip at that point, and he managed to land it.
Just before Chisei chips in, I talked to WickedAwesomeSausage after his fight, and he told me like it's because of you, Numero, because when we were fighting, we were also talking, and I was like, I thought that you would bring the Vegas TMR on this map, so that's why I used this the LIS TMR, and also I brought Margaret myself to have a chance to Berserk. So it was like, maybe I could use Ibarra again and use this TMR on Mish. It could be really nice. So it took up my advice that I never gave him. So, and it worked well.
I think also kind of underrated the tropical trip, the Resnick VC on the Ibarra, who is a book unit and is able to use that ability. So that actually ended up coming in clutch, and Mish was tanking like a boss there for several hits, even from the Velney.
Yeah, and like I said, the Vega team are obviously doing the Berserk, but also the Protect, keeping that Mish alive for like 2 hits with only like 500 health left. Every part of that match worked out really perfectly for WickedAwesomeSausage, including the fact that Phoebe was charging up the Kurada when Ibarra used her tropical trip, so that when so Mish got healed instantly, got hit again, and then the charge time on the Kurada hit the Mish. So I don't know, it was like a act of God over on WickedAwesomeSausage's side, but it all worked out perfectly for him.
Unfortunately for Wicked, he's going to miss the playoffs, but he's going out with a bang, 3-0 on none less than Neptune, so he's going to break the perfect record of Neptune just before going out.
Yeah, what a way to go. Really.
Yeah, very impressive win.
All right, so we have another extra match today, so we're going to cover a third match, so we'll see you in the next one. This one I brought it mostly because it is a very high playoff implication match, so we got myself against Loji. If I lose to Loji and FreyDCat win, I'm missing the playoffs entirely. So there was a lot at stake for this match, and unfortunately for Loji, I knew exactly that he would bring Lemuray and Margaret. He had no other chance. I mean, his best bet was to at least get the extra point, and I didn't know who he was going to bring as a third unit. Honestly, I thought that it was going to be maybe Dia, but he decided to go for Zazan.
Yeah, kind of an interesting choice there. I don't know where really the damage is going to come from on that squad, and especially with the Zazan only at level 121, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Maybe there could be some quicken or charm shenanigans. There certainly could be some baiting in play here, so we'll have to see how that works out. But I think that this Solaire is going to be able to make pretty quick work here of the Zazan.
So double quicken, charm, and berserk. So it could be really toxic.
Could be.
Very
but
true.
like you said,
You do have 2 quickeners there.
Yep. 2 quickeners, but there's the berserk TMR. Like I said, you knew Marguerite was coming, so that makes sense. And like you said, even though you thought that he would bring Dea, you at least got the element right. So the Solaire still being a very solid choice into the Zazan here. And also into 2 mage units, so I see that her being able to put out a lot of damage. So then there's the exit TMR getting a good shield and move up on the Rain. Quicken on the Marguerite, who looks like she's probably charging a quicken of her own. There's an exit TMR coming out on the Zazan as well, going face to face with the Rain, and then the Quicken. So let's see what he goes for this turn. This could be okay, an auto attack. Okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but not that.
I mean, yeah, why? Well, my Rain has a lot of water resist, so I think that he was probably thinking of going for the charm, but since I started right in the middle, he didn't have the range to use his charm, so unfortunately for him, this Zazan is going to go pretty quickly. So now we're going to have 2 casters that are going to cast Quicken until infinity. So here's the first one. And we got a first Meteor, and it's going to get pretty funny for that Rain. And we got Marguerite again. Meteor. So yeah, you're starting to see it, right? Next we're going to have
yeah.
Lemare.
Well, that answers where the damage is coming from. But I mean,
still not in range.
The damage. But Rain is going to be able to come up and do some damage of his own.
Yep. So the LB is up, not enough to kill that Margaret. Next we're going to have this Quicken. No, so she's going just before that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh no. Okay, she gets cast off. Goes again.
Yep.
I don't know how many casts of Meteor she has, but
5.
Okay, let's say.
Okay, no.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe, but I feel like she's got to be running more now. She's used 3 at this point. And then 1 comment.
So we don't see it often. I mean, Margaret being able to like stomp Rain literally. So a Bolt Sturge, just 1 hit is enough, but she had re-raise.
And at this point, I'm wondering if your Berserk TMR is now off, but it probably doesn't matter now, because yeah, I didn't think she'd be in range, but no, she was in range for it. And now, I haven't seen anything offensive come out from the Lemure, or even a try. So
she's in white sub, so she's going to cast a raise.
Yeah, she gets it off in time.
And it doesn't matter.
See ya.
Yeah.
I'm actually like very surprised at the damage that Marguerite was able to put out onto the Rain. Very impressive, because his spirit is usually, and magic resistance both are pretty high. I don't recall like what her penetrations are out of the box, but usually for MR units, and they're not all that great. Either way, it was kind of an interesting one, but I think the Zazan clearly must have been, his skills must have been turned off to kind of maybe emphasize the charm. And the Rain, I think, was just pushed up too much, and he was in range for an auto attack.
I had a bit of hope there for Loji, because at the character select screen, I didn't have really any hope. The only hope was, like I said, charm going off, and if that happened, it was really anyone's guess as to what was going to happen after that. Once I saw Zazan kind of get in range there, I knew the game was all but over. But the Marguerite damage really surprised me. Did not expect her to put up that kind of numbers, or to even get those many attacks off before she went down. So definitely kept the match interesting up until the end. But yeah, once the DPS finally made their way over to the other side of the map, it was definitely over for Loji.
I think that's one thing we can say about Loji all season, is he has kept things interesting and has had some of the more fun teams that and compositions that we've seen. So hats off to him. Yeah, love to see those matches every week.
Since I use alias TMR, he couldn't land charm anyway. We noticed that his level on his Zazan was at 121. So not 140, because Zazan at 140 he gets 8 minus 6, something like this, but when he's like not level a lot, he only gets like I think a minus 2. So if you put the bow tie on him, he's going to have 8 anyway. So it's a nice trick if you want to like remove the pressure a little bit with a super high mobility, the tank that could disturb your team in the same time. So it's a pretty nice mechanic to use. But yeah, it was still really funny to see. It was a nice attempt. Alright, so you guys still have the 2 matches to see, and we're going to see you next in the final standings.
I will do it! Get ready for my super secret technique! Don't worry, I'm gonna fight first!
I cannot let you leave here.
Everyone ready? Alright, let's go! Are you okay? Thanks! You took care of me.
Let's see, any cuties?
I wonder if I can do my
I'll cover you up there.
Fight first!
see. Any cuties? Battle is exciting.
A great food. Thank you.
さあ始めるとしよう
What will do then? I shall continue forth, no matter what may come.
It's not fair.
Sorry about that.
I hate this. I shall take care of the enemy myself. I will understand my power.
Well, you ready? Take this enemy!
Battle is decided from here.
A show on this!
Out of my way.
Not quite.
I shall.
Not quite. Fall to my spear! Let us press on, until the day that war is no more.
All right. So now here's the final portrait for the playoffs. Unfortunately for Freddy, he has won that match and like a big 3-0, but only Loji and FreyDCat have 6 points. Even though FreyDCat has more kills than Loji, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and since they're the only one with 6 points, then Loji bumps up FreyDCat and is making the playoffs for a second time in a row.
Very interesting there. Yeah, that's. I was expecting Loji maybe after the loss there to maybe fall out, but good thing that he did bring those last units to kind of get that extra point and ensure his spot here, because yeah, it was very much down to the wire there between those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same. I thought Loji was out of the playoffs after that loss, but yeah, seeing how it turned out now, this is really surprising, and I'm really interested in facing these players in the playoffs.
Neptune looks like he is holding on to, or no, Neptune has the head-to-head over
Yes.
Chisei, so he retains the first place position despite the kills and plus minus disadvantage.
Yeah. And yes, and for myself, I mean, I was thinking not making the playoffs, and now I'm in third place, so that's how tight it was because I had more kills than the rest of the guys with 7 points. Yeah, pretty glad that I'm making the playoffs. I knew that it was going to be really difficult this season, but really not as difficult as this. Thank you everyone for participating. At least FreyDCat, Wicked, Argon, and Zubat, you still have a chance to win the toilet boil. I know that it won't be as rewarding, but at least you'll have more play with your comp.
Still something to compete for.
Yep, forgot about this. Okay, so here's the playoffs picture. So Neptune and Chisei, you're going to have pass for the first round of the playoffs, so you guys won't be playing for the next 2 weeks. And
Just what I want. A reward to not play mode. No.
End of service soon. No. And next we're going to have WoodyWins against Detto in the first round, and myself against Loji again.
Oh my
The
God.
rematch. The grudge
So this time
match.
he's not obligated to use Marguerite and and Murray, so that should be a nice actual rematch.
Yeah, this time it's actually going to be fair. All right, thank you everyone for watching, and we are going to see you next in the Clairvoyant Division video. Thank you.
See ya.
Yeah.
40 hearts aligned in play for the tourney of the might. The Black Enthusiast League is here, with friends and foes so near. An epic journey to the top, never resting, never stop. Wbel calls our name, you get up for the grand game. It's the place to be right now, cheers and shouts we scream out loud. Numero 80 leads the way, Chisei's voice will guide the play. Heroes bow for all to see, champions rise from their exploits and rule. In the spotlight they belong, WbL stands strong. They aren't blind, they are enthusiasts, and not all clairvoyant, but they are all charming in their own way. Heroes bow for all to see, champions rise from their exploits and rule. In the spotlight they belong, WbL stands strong. They aren't blind, they are enthusiasts, and not all clairvoyant, but they are coming in their own way. Heroes brawl for all to see. Champions rise from their exploits and grow. In the spotlight they belong. WBL stands strong.
You press cancel.
I saw. I was looking for it.